Electronic dance music euphoria. This is Club X.
Power 90.1.
Come on!
Speaking of tracks, which is Armin's favorite track of your own?
That's like asking a father what his favorite child is,
You
man.
have to have one, right?
No. Well, I have, if I look at the success, the story is different. Certain tracks,
Just take off.
just take off and meant more for my career, but they aren't necessarily the tracks that I'm closest with.
Right. So right now, if you had to pick one to say, this is one I'm rocking out to, that's my own, what would it be?
Right now, here on this festival?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I've got my next single coming up, which is Wild Wild Sun, which I'm super proud of.
Okay.
Because I was so happy with the track, and it never happened that I was actually so excited that I actually went into the studio to re-record parts of the song because I felt like maybe I can make it a little better. I love it already. It's already really good, but if I'd have real drums in here, or if I record real strings here and I mix them with the synth strings, it would add this layer of, and that's what I'm constantly doing. Just right before I went here, just before this interview, I was in my hotel room creating several other songs that may not even come out for a couple of years, but I'm always working on songs like, how can I make this better, or how can I fiddle with this idea, or maybe I'm collaborating with someone. I'm already collaborating with 5 or 6 other artists as we speak.
How do you pick?
They pick me usually. It's usually, really the most honest answer to that is that it's just a matter of, hey man, how are you? Let's make a track together.
Right.
So even if my management tries to set it up, that usually creates a distance. So the best thing you can do as a producer, as a DJ, if you want to collaborate with someone and you have somebody on your list and like, I want to work with him or her, the best way to do that is approach somebody and say like, I love your work. I have an idea for a song. Can I please send it to you? Can you please listen to it? Because if you go through your management, there's already a distance, and artists are like, whoa,
Politics.
yeah, and if you make it personal and then you tell somebody about your passion about the song, how much you love him or her, how much of a dream it is to work with that person, and if you come across genuine and you seem like a nice guy and it fits into their diary or his or her diary, then off you go. But there's many tracks that start as a collaboration that never see the light of day.
I'll ask this question too of you is, if I pulled out your phone now and I was going to pull up your streaming service, whatever you use, what would be the song that you most listen to right now? Like, what is Armin's go-to that he's loving right now? What is he listening
Well,
to?
I always listen to New Music Friday.
Okay. Give me something you've listened to recently that you love.
I wasn't really blown away by this week's New Music Friday, to be honest. That's not completely true, because I think the first song that was like, I can, even though it may not be my musical style, even though it may not be my cup of tea or something I would play on a stage here, I can still appreciate good music. I can understand why certain tracks are number one. And I guess that's their job as a DJ, not necessarily to like the music from a personal point of view, but if I can appreciate a good song. So I was actually, I'm so bad with titles. That comes with age. So let me check it
Your
out.
stuff is so polished though compared to some of the newer stuff that's coming out. That's why I'm like,
Well, I spend a lot of time on production.
it's very polished.
Rita Ora, That You Love Me. I think that was an amazing song. I really like the new Mumford and Sons, but that's not something you would hear me play. It's just like I go through the New Music Fridays.
It's your taste of music, but it may not be something that you're going to play in that setting.
Yes, and I'm completely in love with carbon-based lifeforms. Their new album Derelict. That's like ambient music, but that's a personal kind of music. It has nothing to do with what I do.
So tonight, when you go on stage tonight, do you know what you're going to do, or are you just going to go out there and just go with it?
We have 2 intros for this summer, and it depends on what kind of music is before me. If I feel like there's a lot of energy already going, then I have one track. If I feel like I can start from scratch, then I have a more slow intro. That's my visual guy. He's amazing, and he usually hears a few minutes before I go on what my opening track will be.
So when you do this, then it's all live. You don't plan it ahead of time.
Well, I guess I'm a little old school like that. I don't mind DJs that completely pre-program their sets because I understand there's too much that relies on it. But I make my choices on the fly, and he's my witness because I change my mind sometimes 10 seconds before I mix in the next track.
Do they ever not pay off?
Well, you know, where I come from, as being an old school DJ, I get, you know, what I love about my job. I mean, let's have a look at what is DJing, right? I think everybody has their own definition of what is a DJ.
Right.
But consider yourself an artist. The reason why they book me here and not put my playlist and iTunes on shuffle, I mean, that's your biggest enemy, right?
Yeah.
Having a Spotify list and press shuffle, and then, you know, with the 30 tracks I've been playing.
But I will say, your Spotify shuffle list is fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Because your albums are sets, basically. They just keep going.
Yes.
Just flowing into each other. So
Yeah.
That's an advantage then.
Yeah, it is. But I think that's what they call a flow, a set.
Yeah.
It's really ironic that I've played almost the exact same set in the past the next day after a gig, you know, and 2 gigs in a row. And then the second day might be horrible, crowd response 0. And then you just depend on the success of the night before, where every tune seems to fall in place. But it doesn't need, you know, that doesn't guarantee you that the night after the same thing may happen. So that's a pitfall when you do a lot of gigs in a row, that you just feel like, okay, you know, when I play this track and then I play this track and then I play this track, the crowd's going to go nuts. Well, that doesn't always work that way. And actually, that's why I love DJing so much, because there's these gigs that you're like completely hyped up, like, oh, I'm finally playing the main stage here, it's all going to happen, and then nothing happens, and then you come to this really small gig in a country where you've never been before, and then the crowd just goes nuts. So sometimes I have better gigs playing for 800 people where everybody's just all pumped and excited than for 10,000 people that actually like the guy before or after you better than,
We're waiting for you.
Imagine Festival, are you ready to jump with me? Make some noise! Hey, 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 hey. 4, 3, 2, let's go!
Electronic dance music euphoria. This is Club X.
Power 90.1.